President Biden calling on Congress to move quickly to avert what could have been a devastating shutdown. Today, the Senate overwhelmingly passed the legislation from the projection of a swastika on a building in downtown West Palm Beach and flyers thrown in residents' driveways like the one here in Boca Raton. Several cars completely engulfed in flames as thick black smoke filled the air on I-95 just south of Atlantic Avenue, the interchange in the northbound lanes. We are told 4 people were taken to the hospital. 15-year-old and 23-year-old are both facing charges following a dangerous street racing event on the Treasure Coast. The intense waves from Nicole caused the partial collapse of this pier. The pier actually dates back to the 1940s. It was just rebuilt in 2017. CBS 12's Victoria de Cardenas was in the neighborhood where this all happened. In Victoria, we're learning a little more about the people involved. A spokesperson for the district tells us 2 buses were searched by law enforcement, and there was no evidence students were ever in any danger. For decades, no arrest was made. Then in 2017, Sheila Keen Warren was charged. She'd been having an affair with Marlene's husband when the shooting happened. We'll have live team coverage tonight of all of the excitement. Sports director John Evanson standing by in the studio with a recap of this weekend's game.
3 people are in critical condition after a tanker truck explodes and catches fire on I-95 in Delray Beach.
Yeah, CBS 12's Alexis Cruz joining us in the studio tonight with the latest. Alexis.
I-95 southbound lanes just reopened following the crash involving a tanker truck and at least 2 cars. Both northbound and southbound lanes were shut down for hours. As you can see in this video here, several cars completely engulfed in flames as thick black smoke filled the air on I-95 just south of Atlantic Avenue, the interchange in the northbound lanes. We are told 4 people were taken to the hospital. 3 of those people are critically injured. The crash happened between Atlantic and Linton Boulevard around 1 o'clock this afternoon. The flames ignited after a fuel tanker rolled over onto the guardrail. 2 cars were completely burned, as well as the median where the tanker landed. Now, the cause of this crash still under investigation as authorities are still on scene investigating. Back out here in the studio, let's give you a live look at the traffic situation on I-95. A big chunk of the northbound lanes are still closed at this time around the site of the accident between Atlantic and Linton Boulevard, somewhere in this area. But as you can see, the closures is all that red right there in the northbound lanes. Again, the southbound lanes here have reopened at this time. Traffic moving in a moderate, slow pace around the area, but it seems like it's flowing a little better than it was earlier before. Now, we will continue to keep you updated here on CBS 12 and CBS12.com. Jim, Liz, back to you.
Our Alexis Cruz joining us in the studio tonight to share some of their testimonies. Alexis?
Jim, Liz, the families gave highly emotional statements during the trial, but were restricted about what they could tell jurors. They could only describe their loved ones and the toll the killings had on their lives. Those injured in the shooting could only say what happened to them. They were barred from addressing Cruz directly or saying anything about him. But today, they were given the opportunity to speak directly to Alexis Cruz if they chose to. Many called him a coward or wished him a painful death. Others spoke about how his actions harmed their lives and what punishment they would have preferred in this case.
You were given a gift of grace and mercy, something you did not show to any of your victims. I wish nothing for you today. After today, I don't care what happens to you.
Cruz's attorney says he is not expected to speak. He apologized in court last year after pleading guilty to the murders and attempted murders, but families told reporters they found that apology self-serving. The impact statements and sentencing hearing will continue tomorrow. Alexis Cruz is set to be sentenced to life in prison without parole. Back to you.